Hello.
Hello, and Al, how are you today?
Hi. So it's crazy here on Go Thru, but it's crazy good. We have new development, and that's perfect.
Fabulous, fabulous. For all the people that will be going to joining us over here, I'm Mark Charette from WorkPix, 360 virtual tours in the Central Coast of New South Wales and Australia. And my guest for today, again, is Al Bug from Go Thru. And Al is now finally launching the official version of the Go Thru moderator. And we're going to be going over not only some of the new features that are actually been implemented now, but also answering some of the questions that Al seems to be getting an awful lot of, because obviously there's a lot of questions having to do with this moderation tool and its ability to help solve a lot of the problems that we virtual tour photographers seem to always be having. So Al, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
All right, so super. So where should we start? Should we be actually going over some of the questions that you're running into? I think that might be a good place to start. We try to solve some of the problems that you're having with people asking, what will this do? What will this not do? How's that?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
That looks good.
All right. So I understand that one of the questions you've had an awful lot of is having to do with things such as attribution with the virtual tours. How is that going to be handled going forward?
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to share my screen. I think it's best if I'm showing you what's happening there. Okay. Let me see how I can do it. So I will share my screen, just log out. Oh, yeah. If you never visited Go Thru, you just go to gothru.co.
Yes.
And you click sign in with Google, and that will create you an account automatically. So regarding the attribution, a lot of people are getting confused, and they go to my profile and they see that under here there is an attribution. Now, this attribution is related to the tours that are under your portfolio and are the attributions that Go Thru got from your portfolio. So this attribution has nothing to do with the tours that will be published to Google. So yeah, this is just under your portfolio. Go Thru scans these listings and looks at the attribution that you published these tours with, probably the Google desktop editor, yeah, moderator, and then from that scan, it gets this attribution. So this attribution has nothing to do. Now, what's happening is when you're gonna create an create new tour, or either to Go Thru or Street View app, Google, it's taking the attribution and it's using your account name.
Okay, all right. So that means that what we have to remember is the attribution that Google is using is account name as opposed to the ones that you've actually loaded using Go Thru.
Yes. So, and now I haven't tested, and I don't know, I have no confirmation about, but my guess is if you go to this link, account name, my account google.com name, and you change that the name here, that might affect the name of the tour. But I had photographers that tested that and it didn't work. Now, does it take time from the moment you edit this and to propagate and then you publish? I don't know. We have to test. So if there are people out there testing, I would say go ahead, try this, and see if the attribution changes. To me, it should change, but it's something that is related to your Google account and it's coming from Google. And I think that question goes best to Google, so we should ask it on the Google forum.
That's a good idea, actually, and that's one of the things that maybe the next time that we get someone like Asia doing a hangout with all of us, we can probably try to address that aspect of it, because it deals, as you say very well, more having to do with our relationship as virtual tour photographers on Google's account.
Yeah. That's one of the questions that I'm getting a lot from the community. Yeah. So another question that I'm getting is why the tours are showing blue dots, why I'm not seeing the scene side. Based on my understanding is Google will work, there are different teams, and they will work on grouping the dots under one dot, and having maybe it's best if I can actually we can look at the tour. So just give me
Yeah, sure.
one
That's a good idea.
second, and I can use a tour that was recently published with Go Thru.
Okay. It's interesting that you say that because obviously anyone who's using the Street View app right now is identifying their tours as blue dot tours.
Yeah. So this is one tour that was published by Jean-Michel, and it was published with Go Thru. It oops, sorry. It was published with Go Thru, and everything works and it looks fine. Really, really nice, nice work from Jean Michel. And if we go on the map, what we will notice is yeah, so we will notice that this tour has blue dots. Now, in this particular case, there are two tours. There is the old tour, which is the orange dot, and there is the new tours, which is the photospheres, and there are blue dots. And for every panorama that you publish, either to Go Thru or through Street View app, you'll have these blue dots from the start. Now, my understanding is Google, after the 1st of April, will gather these. Now, I don't know the date when, but sometime after, they will group these dots, blue dots, under one dot, and we don't know the color yet.
So we could actually be dealing with something other than orange or blue for all we know.
Yes, yeah, we don't know anything about that. It's just like I that's my information that they will group these under one dot. Now that might be a rumor, I don't know, but yeah. So regarding seeing the tour in the search on the knowledge graph, again, that's something that that we hope Google will work after 1st of April. There are rumors that there will be a step inside. There are rumors there will be the panel icon, but till we will have to wait and see if any of those rumors will confirm.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because one of the conversations I had not that long ago during a hangout, I'd recommended that they just use the same language that they're using with a mobile device, which is the 360 view, because at least it would be consistent. You know, as long as what they're doing on mobile and desktop, there has to be some form of language consistency, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so to me there is no doubt that Google will do something. We are entering into a world where the 360-degree and virtual reality is becoming more important. And I'm not seeing Google trying to hide these tools that we are doing in somewhere in the basement. Well, when worldwide there are appearing cameras like this year, where probably we will see another wave of 360 cameras, better quality, like everything will be better and better and better regarding our field. No, I don't think Google will try to hide these tools somewhere in the basement. So that's why I'm confident that the knowledge cart will remain, but sometime after first. And now another thing is Google will have the Street View Summit in Tokyo in May, and that's when my feeling is that, and that's when they plan to launch the API actual product to everyone. So probably by May, they will have the API out of beta.
Yeah, that would make good
So
sense.
hopefully by May we will have levels. I don't know, and other features that we need inside the API, and they are missing right now. But I hope by that date, the product to be to solidify based on the dots, based uh, on the knowledge card. So I would say just let's wait to give Google some time till May, and then if we're not seeing anything moving in May, then we can start pushing them.
Okay, all right. At least we know we actually know that there's something in the pipe. Obviously, I actually don't think that they would be holding a meeting such as the one in May without having a few good announcements. Of course, they know that they're inviting a lot of photographers out there who've been top performers for good reasons. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the other issues that you've been running into that we probably need to cover, if I can, you'd mentioned that there was some other questions that are very common in the in your Facebook feed. What other issues are people running into that you'd like to address?
So first, I would like to go ahead and feature the newest release of Go Thru,
Okay,
which supports levels and preview. And then we can talk about levels, because first I need to showcase the levels. So actually, while we are uploading the panorama, so let's go ahead and create and start a new tour.
excellent.
So we're just gonna create a new tour. This is a test tour, so it's not, I'm not gonna yeah. So in here we're gonna type the business name or the address where we have this tour to be associated with, and you click create new tour, and then we're gonna start uploading the panoramas. And let me go and get the panoramas. So while these panoramas are uploading, we can go ahead and talk about levels.
Sure. So what's happening in the world of levels? Because that's obviously, as you've mentioned, it is a
Yeah,
big question for a lot of people.
everyone is all about levels, especially the hotel shooters. So Go Thru moderator is now, I would say 0.2, not 2.0, but 0.2 on the version side. And what's new, we have levels and we have a preview button. Now, regarding the levels, a lot of people are confused because Go Thru is supporting levels, but Google is not. So what does that mean, and why Go Thru is doing this? One is because Go Thru wants to support the photographer from the start. We want you to work in a clean environment where you place your panoramas on the map and you work on them. You can put them one on top of the other, and without having a mess. And yeah, so we are having these type of issues where this, they get intertwined. So what's happening here is, and the reason we developed levels before of Google has, is we want you to shoot levels even if you go on the stairs or use elevators, as we used to do before the elevator was in the project. You can shoot and moderate on levels, and then when Google is ready through the API, to accept levels, all you have to do is just go into Go Thru and update the tour on Google, and then you're going to have levels. So our idea is we don't want you to work twice.
Right. Okay. So does this mean also, just as a question with regards to the way that levels are going to be displayed in Street View, that they will be essentially groups of nodes that are...
No. Yeah, no.
No?
So what's happening is, and the way you have to understand the Street View is, it's like a pool. So all these are in one pool right now. And yeah, Google took out the entry level. So right now we don't know actually from this constellation what will be the entry level. It will be something random picked by Google. So that's another question that I'm getting, like where is the entry point inside the tour?
I would suspect that quite possibly that Google may even suggest, and we, of course, we don't know, this is speculation, but that they will use the most popular or best quality algorithm that they've been suggesting photography is based off of. That's one possibility.
Yeah, anyway, it's hard. Once you have a tour like this, how do you know which is the most popular?
Yeah.
Probably the most popular is the one they display first. So I'm not sure how that algorithm will work. Anyway, but that's another thing that I'd be asked, like, how can I enter? And the answer is Google is randomly picking that up. So let's say if I have all these levels and I'm actually getting randomly one panorama from here, I will not be able to reach this level or this level, because I will only be able to walk around these 4 panoramas. Now, you can alleviate that if you use the elevator, and create a link and end up on this level, where you have an elevator. Probably here is my elevator. So, or I don't know, there is somewhere here. So maybe you connect this with this, and then you have a connection between the levels. So that would be one way to address the levels till Google implements it. Or you can use an overlay system. Now, regarding overlay systems, Go Thru will support, hopefully on the first, a mini overlay system, which will be theoretically a menu and an elevator. And we already have that on our hostings, hosted tours, and we can take a look. And it will be something similar. I'm not sure if the design will be exactly the same, but we'll have a menu where you can jump around the elevators, the levels, or you can click directly on the level. So we will try to support this on the first. Now, any tour that you'll have, you can deliver an overlay, a mini overlay system to your client and say, hey, this is as much as we can do now.
And obviously, it's very important to remind everyone that this is actually not being hosted directly in Street View. This is for the client's website. This is a custom hosted tour.
Yes. No. This in particular, this is a hosted tours by Go Thru. But we will have an overlay system similar with all the other overlay systems, like where the images will be on Google. Is just you'll put a link like gothru.co, and then a short URL, a short string, and that will display the levels over the tours on Google.
And this would be best recommended to be hosted as an iframe inside the client's website?
Yes. So that will be like the solution from Go Thru regarding levels till Google implements. It's from my point of view, that's the best solution up till now. Yes, there is a hack that you can publish if you want 4 levels and display as islands in Google. So if something like this, yeah, you have islands. But the way you would do that is if you have 4 accounts. Sorry about that. I lost it. So if you have 4 accounts and you publish the tours, yeah, so and you publish the tour from 4 accounts, that's the only way you can have islands.
So that's an interesting concept. So you actually, as long as you actually have separate accounts with Google to publish, you can actually have. Is it a maximum of 4, or is this just
no
limit?
I was just saying that if you really need islands, you need to create one level in one account, another level in one account, another level in another account. So that's if you have 4. But if I've seen tours with 47 levels, and what do you do there?
That gets a bit crazy.
And what do you do when you have to actually publish when Google fixes the levels? Yeah, you go ahead and delete from the other accounts, and then you add it to one account. Like how do you manage that? So it gets, but yes, there is a solution. That's what I'm saying. Yes, if you want, you can do it.
Yeah, good to know, actually, because there's obviously someone's going to ask that question. Might as well address it while you have the opportunity.
Okay, so in the meantime, we had the panoramas uploaded. Another thing that I was confronted recently was that people are uploading panoramas that are not 2:1 aspect ratio. And what do I mean by 2:1 aspect ratio is that the width of the image has to be half of the size of, so the height has to be double the width has to be double the height.
It has to be twice as wide. It has to be an equirectangular image that's produced by tools such as
but a lot of people do not understand what that means. So let's say you have a panorama that's the width is 8,000 pixels. The height of that panorama has to be 4,000. Yeah, because if you take 8,000 divided by 4,000, the result is 2.
Exactly, and that's what we're looking for.
10,000 and 5,000, 12,000 and 6,000. Yeah, so there is not like a limit on the panel size. You has to be a 2:1 panorama. If the panorama is not 2:1, Go Thru will you'll upload the panorama to Go Thru, and Go Thru will throw it out.
That's actually not a bad thing, because it'll actually help people understand that they actually have to produce
but anyway, we will try to add that warning somewhere here, hopefully before you actually upload the panorama. Anyway, I will see if we can do that. Yeah, I've seen that. So okay, let's go ahead and jump into the moderator. So you see, we changed some texts in here. Still show the levels. Probably we will not show the levels with the next release, when we're gonna hide this if you don't have multiple levels. But I will show you how you can create multiple levels even from, like, right now Go Thru does not support like uploading directly to multiple levels.
Right.
We will work on that like probably this week or next week. And then but you can do it even right now. If you go to edit, you can add the level, reload, and then you can move these panoramas to that particular level.
So once again, you actually need to upload all of the panos for the whole of the tour, then determine which ones belong on which level.
That's for now. Yeah, so that's the behavior right now, but that will change when you will be actually to upload directly to a particular level. Yeah, so you see, while we show here only the panoramas from that level 2 or only the panoramas from level 1, so we don't mix them, only if you want to see them all. Yeah. So, okay, let's go ahead and start moderating. We will treat this as a one level, and you can understand that this is an as an elevator, yeah, between them. Anyway, so moderating is really straightforward. The idea is to move the panoramas from the right side to the left side initially, and then you can fine tune everything, expanding this and fine tuning everything there. So we place the central line, so it directs where we shot the next panorama, and my next panorama was somewhere here. I can click this, I can preview the panorama because I might not understand exactly what's happening there. And let's click on it. Come on. And I think it's good enough. And we're gonna click the F button, which is the flip button, will go back and forth. So it should be somewhere here. We can rotate it a bit. Okay, that's a good panel. And now let's say we've clicked panel 4 and we added panel 4 here, but obviously this is not the correct panel. So we can just take it out from here. And we know now, okay, panel number 3 is the correct one. So we're gonna add it here. And then we're gonna try to match. Something like that.
Just part of clarification, how are you doing the zooming in and out of that image of the
from the scroll wheel of my mouse.
Okay, so scroll wheel will give us that ability to zoom in and out.
Yes. As another thing that is worth mentioning is that Go Thru supports NADAR blurring. So as you see in this particular panorama, Go Thru did blur. Now we still have to do a bit of work in detecting this extra cone of black in here. So you will have the whole nadir blur automatically done by Go Thru.
Will you also be having the option to have nadir caps instead of nadir blurs?
Yeah, no, that's already something that we support. Oh, yeah, it's something that already we support, and it's quite easy actually to produce and fast. Oh, the way you do it, you go to more tools and you have NADAR here, and click NADAR, and all you have to do is upload your NADAR in here. This is another issue that I've noticed with a lot of photographers, and I'm saying here clearly that the PNG should be 2048 by 2048. Now, most of the people what are doing are taking this is a preview of the NADAR, and actually let's open it in Photoshop, and you can see the NADAR. I had it somewhere here. 1 second. No, this is done. So this is Go Thru NADAR, and as you notice, is this NADAR is not the full 20 by 48, and the reason it's not full is because depending on what camera you have, you can make this NADAR smaller or bigger, so you can choose the correct size of your NADAR cap.
It's actually quite important to also, simply because of the fact that that 2048 by 2048, how does that relate to the size of the equirectangular image in itself? So in other words,
yeah. So what Go Thru does is it takes this and it's looking, it's breaking this panorama into a cube and then looking down at the cube and then applying this on the cube. So this is one side of a cube. So if you make this low nadir like bordering the image, it will look really bad. And actually, we can 1 second. Let's go ahead and yeah, apply the nadir. And it's very fast. And
I can see this being a major time saver for a lot of people who are currently doing the naders back using inside of PT GUI, because it's not that it's hard, but it just takes a little extra time. This might be a faster way to do it.
yeah, no. So this is very fast, and actually we will support sometime in the future, probably sometime in April, like mirror ball nadar, where you see the nadar as in the tour that Jean-Michel has. So something like that. So we will support something like that with very fast. Yeah. So just give me 1 second and to do something here. Okay. Good. So right now, if let's save this and reload, and let's take a look now. Yeah, so what's happening is Go Thru is using a caching server, and these images are taken from the caching server. So we do not see the nadar right away, but I will change that later. For now, we can just download one panorama, and we will see the nadar here. Yeah, so this is, let's save it and let's open it with let's open it with this application. Okay.
It's interesting that as you're looking for that now, I'm thinking in terms of the importance of making sure that the nader also continues to meet the Google requirements and standards. I'm sure they're going to be maintaining that. That's one of those things.
So yeah, this my nader is built. I'm not using a nader. I'm not a nader guy. So yes, on my nader you have my URL, but in Google guidelines it says that no email addresses and no websites. So you can have your business name and a logo, but no more than that. So just yeah, thank you.
Just as a quick heads up, yep. Just one of those things we want to make sure we're not promoting something that is contravening our ability to actually publish.
Yeah. So yeah, as you saw, it's really quick, and can go through patching 100 nadars in under 1 minute. Like, it's that fast. And the beauty of it is no loss of quality, and very proud about that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with our moderation. Now, one thing to understand is that Go Thru is using the file names that you had, and it's placing the panoramas in here in that order. So if you have your panorama 1, 2, 3, that's the order that will be here. If your panoramas are named based on the camera name, they will be probably in the order that you shot them. Yeah?
Okay. As one question with that, because that actually relates to the way that I actually name them. I always name them as node 1, node 2, node 3. Will it actually acknowledge the alphanumerics also?
Yeah, no, because the ordering is done by node, which is the same, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. So it will end up with 1, 2, 3. Right. So this is very easy to moderate.
It's a nicely shot tour.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this was shot previously by another photographer. It was very yellowish. Now this is more the light that actually was in that store. So the owner was very happy with the tour also.
I think we all struggle with white balance, especially when you're stepping inside and outside of a space where, you know, it's a bright sunny day and they've got fluorescent lights on the inside, of course.
Yeah, this was sometime in the morning before they open. So something, yeah. And again, if you press from 1 to 0, this will change the opacity. And again, if you press one arrow up and down, you can go back and forth. I'm doing this just by pressing the arrows on my keyboard.
It's one of those things that's actually important to keep in mind with, obviously, for people who are seeing this, is that most everything is very, very natural and organic in the way that you navigate through it, because, like, you know, using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out on the next panel, very simple to use.
And we hope to have another version of Go Thru, let's say 0.3, by the 1st of April. And in that version, we want to improve the map. Right now, we have a slightly lag on the map when you rotate, move the panels, like as a group. So we think we can improve that. And another thing that we will be working on is add numbers on the map. That was a very request feature.
That's actually a really good idea, because it helps you to remember, especially on a larger shoot where you've got anything above 25 or 30 nodes. It gets a little confusing as to where things need to line up initially when you're first laying out your node layout.
Yeah. And another feature that's actually, I was not aware that in the old moderator we had it. And that's, let's say I want to add this panorama, yeah? And okay, I will connect it. But let's say this panorama is not in the proper place. Let's say this panorama is somewhere here, yeah? So I know that this panorama is there, but I should be here. Now, what we will try to do is when you press the key A, we will take, let's say we unlock this link. So when you press the A key, we'll automatically take this link and place it on the line. So pressing A will do something like this.
That's a neat trick, because then it saves. So simply what you do is place the pano or the node in the right spot as close as you possibly can, but then allow the alignment to basically sort of be auto-adjusted.
Yeah, so that's something that we will have on the 1st of April. Okay, and now we can go ahead and add the last panorama. Now, one thing that I'm really proud about Go Thru is that we recently did a test where we loaded a tour that was 902, I think, or 4, something around there, nodes, panoramas, yeah, in the tour. So, yep, we are done.
That's huge. That actually well exceeds the standard that Google can normally publish. Is that not correct?
It's not about Google publish, but Google editor was struggling with about anything about 250 panels. Like it was taking forever to load, but Go Thru loaded that in 20 seconds.
That's
I
that's amazing.
Yes. So that is like, to me, is wow. You know. So and that's just to make you understand that you will be able to throw out Go Through no matter how big the job is, and you'll be able to throw it and have the insurance that it will work, and not like what happened in Google Editor when things like was like just insane.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because there was actually some conversation, I believe, with respect to the ability of your infrastructure to be able to support the number of photographers that are going to be uploading imagery. And obviously, what you're demonstrating is you've got the power behind you to take care of even very
Yes,
large.
no, we have behind us a pipeline that is 2 gigabits per second. So I think with 2 gigabits per second, we can take pretty much any, like all the photographers. We can have directly with 2 gigabits per second. If one photographer uploads at 10 megabit per second, which is a decent upload rate, we can have 20 photographers uploading in the same time in Go Through. Now, I'm estimating that there will be around 500 to 700 photographers working per day in Go Through. That's my estimation. So I'm confident in that's spread over 24 hours. So I'm confident that we can take all that load from all the points of view, like database wise, servers wise, and bandwidth wise, and of course web server wise. So everything it's on multiple servers, clustered. So it's everything will run smoothly.
Plain and simple, it's robust. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the another feature that we are proud to announce is the preview button. So this will open a preview of the tour that we just created. Now, the preview is not a hosted tours. So because the preview is not a hosted tour, the quality of the preview is low. And moving from one panel to another, it's slow. So when moving to this panel, I'm getting this black screen while I'm trying to load the panorama. Also,
it almost looks like the images are sort of theta quality instead. It's just downgraded.
Yeah, I'm downgrading them so I can speed out the load. So once they are cached, you can move faster through them. But
I can't see that being a problem for anyone, because you're only in review. You know, as long as you've shot the image correctly, you've lined it up correctly, you're just making sure that before you go and do the primary publishing that you're okay with it.
Yeah, and you notice that there are two levels. We moderated on two levels, so you can just go ahead and be on the two levels that click on them. Yeah, so this is a really nice additional tool that we were missing.
So I guess that takes us into the actual publishing side of things, does it not?
Yeah. So in order to publish, you just click on tools, and then you have this red button, publish to Google. It's red because probably the API is not quite ready yet. So you just click on publish to Google, and you have here you will have a list of warnings, or let's say we disconnect this particular panorama. Come on. So
just to be clear, so what you're saying is if there's actually something wrong with the tour for any
yes,
reason, it will actually first highlight that back to you so that you don't go and accidentally go and publish a tour that actually has a disconnected panorama.
yes. So no, the new Google API allows you to. So the new Google API allows you to publish disconnecting panoramas. That's not the issue, but I'm displaying a warning. There are panorama that have no links. So just for you to know. And of course, if there are any other issues, you will have the warning in here. Also, we will have we will know exactly the status of the API. Probably there will be times when the API will be down. So when that will happen, probably this box will be red and say the Google API is down. Please wait.
So is
So
this so this actual screen, this part of the publishing process, is this something that gets auto updated relative to whatever it reads in terms of contents? In other words, if the API is failing for whatever reason, you're
this information is most probably coming from me. I have not automated, like I know okay, the API is failing right now and I'm gonna automate this. Probably I can do that later on in the future, but for now, like if I notice that the API is failing, I will make this red and disable the publishing.
That's I only bring it up because this is an opportunity for those people who, if something does happen early days, and of course, I have a funny feeling you're going to be working bloody hard when the API is actually out and launched and solid.
No, so even now, so yeah, the next step will be, this is a 3-step where you click tools, you click publish, and then click again publish, and then you click again publish. So this is another confirmation. And when you click this, then the tour will go out to Google. And what you do after your tour is out on Google is give it like probably 10 minutes, and right now check it on your phone, check it on your Street View app, and see if the links are okay, if the panels are in the proper position. Yeah.
Why do you recommend the phone? I'm just curious to know. You're saying to use the Street View app as opposed to Google Maps on your computer.
Because on the Street View app, you see the constellation as it is on Google. So you see actually the constellation on the phone.
Okay, so there's actually a distinction between the two.
And actually right now there is a delay in publishing. Like if I'm going and publishing this tour right now, probably it will take between, I don't know, 2, 3, or 4 days to publish. So if you want to have the most, like a very good feedback, you just open your phone. Now probably Go Thru will have some extra buttons where you can check the status of a tour on Google. Now, because we don't know, we published the tour to Google, but what Google has, we don't know. Does it have everything or not? So probably we'll work on a status button, like, okay, we query Google for this particular listing. Give me the status of that listing, and you can check it and Go Thru without actually going on the Street View app.
Yeah, that sounds like a really nice option to stay in one place. Yeah.
What's happening is sometimes the links in Google are disappearing, and people that work with the Street View app, they know that. So you will be able to check the status of a listing, and if the listing on Go Thru is okay, then you just update, and that will update the Google with the links back. So you just push the metadata theoretically to Google. It's not a full push. Now, Go Thru will support probably later this week a delete button for Google. Probably I will have it somewhere here, or I don't know. I'm thinking to add it, to put it under pub to make just Google here, and then add it under the Google, like different functions that you can do in here regarding the tour. I'm still debating and trying to understand what the best workflow would be.
Yeah, that should be a minor detail, because as long as we know that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because what happens right now, and that's not a good thing, is people are working from their app, from the Street View app, like deleting a tour from Street View app. But then when you come back to Go Thru doesn't know that you actually deleted the Street View app. So you might try to update or publish again the tour, but the tour won't be able to be, Go Thru won't be able to publish, because Go Thru thinks that the panels are on Google and you try to update them, but it will fail. So we will have to somehow do a check or something. I don't know. We will have to do some synchronization between Google and Go Thru. But my recommendation is, yes, use the Go Thru, use the Street View app just as a check, but don't do operations on the on the Street View app, at least for the start.
Yeah, it's actually, and of course, the API is going to change over time too, for that matter. So, obviously, you're having to be flexible enough to update and change the way that you're going to be able to connect with it.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, The only thing is, we will have to implement something to synchronize something. What's happening between Google and Go Thru, because there are two different systems, and if you cannot work on one without affecting the other one. Like we did some extra improvements on the hosting tours, where you can right now you can select on the hosted tour, you can select the field of view, where to start. Yeah. So, and also that will reflect on the menu. So when you click on the menu, it will start where you actually selected to start. And also we're gonna use the same interface that we have here to build the menu in Google for the Google overlay system. So this is pretty much the interface where you will be able to build the menu for the overlay in Google, for the Google overlay.
Sounds good. I suppose then really what we're looking at is, of course, we're still waiting for the API to go live so that you can actually allow the...
Yeah, no, right now it is live, but it's a bit slowish. And yes, I really wanted on the 15th to launch the Go Thru with the publishing function for everyone. But Google said that it's better to wait a bit more, just to have a better experience on the user side. So they have a bit more time to fix the API. With pretty much their concern is they want a more responsive to, like, you published and then 10 minutes or 2 hours later you can walk through the tour on Google, because right now that's not happening. It takes a few days.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all running into that right now.
Yeah, so that's their main concern. So we will hold on the publishing function for the photographers that are not pro yet, till Google will give us the go ahead for that. Mm-hmm. So yes, the pro accounts can publish for now. The non-pro accounts will have to wait a bit more. And the reason is we are not getting that many publishings from the pro accounts, and that's it. We are in between the limits of what we can test daily with Google for now.
Which is very fine, actually, and I would rather see it be solid and know that we can do the very quick 10 minutes later publishing approach, because Now nowadays people have an expectation of things being done very quickly. Especially if you recall that interview that I did with David Meerman Scott recently, where he talks about authenticity and recency. Well, recency is all about people
Yeah.
want it almost instantly, but of course, this takes us a bit of time. We're dealing with a complex product, and we're not quite at the point where it's going to be instant publishing. But this is going to at least make it easier for us to say, look at it, as long as everything goes well. We're looking at basically minutes after we finished assimilating the whole tour and having it live.
Yeah, no, in the end, probably when everything is settling down on Go Thru side and on Google side, we have auto moderation. Hopefully, yeah, in April we want to start working on auto moderation. So hopefully by May we will have it by Tokyo. Also, Go Thru will be in Tokyo. We will have a 45 minutes to talk about Go Thru in there. No, so if you are in Tokyo, come to us and say hello.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of people actually wanting to say, probably wanting to give you a bit of a hug for saving their butts for so many times that the tours have actually failed them. And the Go Thru tool, I know a lot of times I've actually had that. As you know, you've saved my butt a few times with tours that were failing, and it's been a great tool all the way through up until now. And looking forward to having you being able to provide us with a publishing format with all these extra tools. And there's so much that we're not even covering right now, but I think it's obviously best that people go back to your website to see a list of all of the bells and whistles, the features list that Go Thru actually provides. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to share at this point, but I think we've covered quite a bit. Is there anything else you'd like to make sure that people are aware of about the tool?
No. For now we are okay. We are working hard, and yeah, we will be working to add Google Drive uploads, and more features. And so our focus for the nearest future will be Google Drive improvements on the moderator with the one that I've talked with, the numbers on the map, and the overlay system. Also, we Go Thru will be implementing a single sign-on for agencies, where agents will be able to sign in directly into Go Thru from their portal if they have anything like that. Another actually really nice feature that we just discovered that you can do it with Go Thru and Google API is you will be able to associate multiple accounts to multiple Google accounts to your Go Thru account. So
that's actually quite handy for larger operations.
Yeah, you will be able to switch, and when you publish, you will be able to select to what account you want to publish.
That's fabulous. In fact, that gives the opportunity for people who would rather not be doing the post-publishing. All they want to do is sell and shoot, or just shoot, and then they can provide someone else to do the work on their behalf.
Yeah. On the back end of the Go Thru, we can, let's say, if you work with the third party moderator, we can ask us and say, hey, allow that particular moderator to publish to my account, and I can do the link, and they will be able to publish directly to your account from their account. So you don't have to provide your username and password to anyone else.
That's a nice feature.
And that's good also for agencies where, let's say you have an agency that has 50 photographers, and we can associate your agency account to all those 50 photographers, and they all publish to your account from their account. So that's really interesting and nice. Probably we will work on that feature more towards the last week, this week. So another thing is regarding the pricing. the Go Thru subscription is $23.95, and that gives you up to 10 listings to publish. Anything above 10 in a month, it will be we will have a token system, and you'll be able to buy tokens in Go Thru system, and it will be like 2 tokens, which equivalents to $2 per publishing. Now, the publishing is one time, so you publish, and then if you do any updates, there is no extra cost on updates.
Very fair.
Yeah, and another thing regarding the pricing is every new account that will be created in Go Thru will get 2 free tours to publish. So you will be able to publish 2 free tours, and then you'll be able to moderate as many tours as you want. But when it's the time to publish, you will have actually to subscribe.
All right, good, super.
Yeah, and probably the Go Thru will not be you will be able to publish as when Google gives us the go ahead, you will be able to publish as many tours as you want at no cost till the 1st of April, and we will see. We might extend that a bit after the 1st of April, depending on how soon Google is stabilizing the API.
Yeah. Let's just hope they get it done as soon as possible. We're all very eager to get the ball rolling with that.
Yes.
So again, thank you very much for sharing so much more about what's happening in the world of Go Thru. And I would suspect we probably will want to connect sometime again after the API has been fully launched, and maybe just put out a quick, hey, everyone, it's live, everything's working. And then possibly even maybe we should try to pick up and do a hangout while you're in Tokyo. That'd be great to see maybe if we can connect up with you while you're there. So I guess really to wrap things up, where can people find out more about your tools, and how do they get a hold of you?
So the easiest way is you just go to gothru.co, and you just sign in, and to get a hold of me, it's either by phone or by support email or info email. And we also we are on Facebook, and our Facebook group is Facebook groups Go Thru, and we are very active on our tours. We accept everyone, and only if I'm seeing you trying to spam people around, then we will ban you and take you out from the forum.
Yep, sounds good.
So yeah, we are active here. Every little thing that we are doing on Go Thru side, we are displaying here. It's a quite large group. We have 600 members right now, and I'm sure it will grow really fast.
Again, thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Okay, thank you, Mark. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you very much. All right, bye for now.
Bye-bye.